Absolutely. Okay, winding down the show, Ethan, and we said we were going to talk about this, so we better make sure to talk about it. Lonnie Maddox, he's the assistant strength coach. He joins lead head strength coach Trumain Carroll and coming from Kansas State. So, Ethan, I just the obvious point is the point that's worth making and emphasizing here is that this elite strength coach that USC thinks it has found, and we think Trumain Carroll is an elite strength coach. Hey, you can't go wrong with Coach Carroll at USC, right? But if you have an elite big dog as your strength coach, it certainly would stand to reason that you need to get his lieutenant. You need to get that second in command to help spread throughout the room, create that culture, create the quality control, maintain the standard. That seems like a really important hire for USC.
No, certainly. And I think it should be emphasized too that this is not like one of those situations where Lincoln Riley brought in a bunch of coaches that were his guys and they were looking over, a lot of their kind of lack of strengths in certain areas. This is not necessarily a guy that Trumain Carroll has a super long-standing relationship with. They only worked together last year at Kansas State, but Lonnie Maddox is someone who has been involved in the strength and conditioning game for a decent bit of time. I mean, he was the head of strength and conditioning himself at Valdosta State before going to Kansas State, and he's also been in the same position at Alcorn State for several years. So, these are not massive programs, but he is a guy who not only knows what it's like to be in a strength and conditioning program, but to run a strength and conditioning program. So I think that it's just another guy in the building who's really smart, knows what he's doing. And if Trumain Carroll trusts him and USC trusts Trumain Carroll, I don't see why USC should then not trust Lonnie Maddox.
All right. Lots of good things at USC. And isn't it great for Jeff Rodriguez and Rob Latham and, people that we know well on this show in the chat? Isn't it great, guys, that, we're talking about a program that's headed up and making good, sound, adult, responsible decisions? That really feels